Happy Wednesday, traders. This is William from Bearable Traders, and I am getting sicker by the day. But I had to make this video for you because I want to reinforce this concept that I share with a lot of you, because it's very actionable in all setups that we teach and all setups that you take. You can use this concept to help in all the setups, okay? And that's the Harmonious Chart. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to our YouTube site, and in the search function here, type Harmonious, type Harmonious, and it'll be the only video here in the title, Learn About the Harmonious Chart with me, and that'll give a very good understanding of what I'm looking for in that. But for today, I used it and I'm going to show you how and why it's so powerful. So if we start on the smaller time frames when we're looking at stocks, that's a bad idea. So I'm going to start right here to show you why this is bad. This is Boeing 1 minute today, pre-market, before the market opens, right? This looks like chop. This is untradable, right? No good volume, no good trends, no good candles, okay? So it looks like that's untradable from pre-market action, right? Okay. Now, let's start off where I actually start, which is the daily, and remembering any stocks that have been in play the last couple days, weeks, or have fundamentally been in play because of news. And we know that Boeing has fundamentally bad news, right? This is why this gap happened, right? So now let's bring in one concept. Stocks move in waves. We know this. We talk about it all the time. It's going to go down. It can't just go down. It can't go bankrupt, right? It's going to consolidate, or it could go bankrupt. But there's consolidations and there's pullbacks in a trend, okay? Now, where do those consolidations and pullbacks, or we can call them waves, happen? They happen on potential support and resistance. So we can see this waves down. It finds support near the 200 on the daily, which is this. Waves up a little bit. What do you know? It finds resistance at the 50. Waves back down. Finds support at the 200. Now it's waving. And I loved when I saw that. It was respecting the 50, and then it had more fundamentally bad news, okay? So think of that as a little wave. It's waving, fundamental news, wave back down. So now it's today. This was yesterday. This wasn't on our gappers list, so a lot of us weren't looking at it. I did call this out earlier in the chat room because I look at different things, and this has been in play, and it was a little gap down and a nice trend down off of the 50 in the overall trend. So guess what? I'm not gonna long this. I don't care what happens. You can long it. Anyone can long it. I can't long this because I am short biased on this. If it goes without me, awesome. It's a different setup that I don't look for, right? We need to play our setups. This is a short setup for me. Okay, gap down. A teeny gap down, looks weak, fundamentally weak as well. So let's go back to the 1 minute. Now with that being said on the daily, remember I can't long it. Let's go to the first minute of the market. Look at this. You get a little rocket booster type candle with the wick that goes down, comes back up for a strong close with 100,000 shares of volume. Not amazing volume, but it's not horrible, right? So now anyone looking for a 1 minute orb, momentum, or a little scalp, they're gonna look at that as a long, right? That doesn't look weak. That looks long to most traders. Okay, so let's see. Let's put back my indicator here. And what did I do? Remember, I can't long it. I shorted it. I shorted it right there. And I got filled at 368.76. Okay. Let's look here. Now, why did I decide to do that besides the daily chart? This is the Harmonious Chart concept. So this is the 1, the 2, the 5, the 15, the 60, and the daily. Okay, I look at all these, and this is the candle before pre-market. Okay, that's what we're looking at. This is this is the end of the pre-market on all of these. Not the candle before the pre-market, sorry, the candle right before the close of pre-market into live market. So now what do you see? In terms of the Harmonious Chart, all of the higher time frame moving averages on every time frame are above the price action. And what does that mean? It offers resistance. We've got the 50 in purple, the 200 in orange. On the 1, it's above the price action. On the 2, it's above the price action. On the 5, it's above the price action, right? 15, same thing. The 200's way up here, so it's not swooping up from underneath us. And then on the 60, right, it's way up here. Now combine that with the daily being weak, it's under now every level of resistance with no support other than this 200 daily or this little bottom right here, which I'm fine because it has room to get there. So remember, I can't long that against all of these moving averages. So what do? I see it pops up to 368.79 in the opening 1 minute, and it kind of like, it pops up, it goes back down, it's doing crazy things, you know how crazy it is in the open. And I said, okay, if it ever goes back up near this, which, if you look at the 2 minute, was right under, it was going right to these moving averages, I said, I'm going to put a limit order out there. And if it ever goes up there and I get filled, I'll risk a very tiny amount, hoping that I'll get a pullback right to that top, because I think it's going to be the very top based on the Harmonious Chart and all the moving averages. So you can see I put out the limit order at 9:30:44 after 44 seconds, and I got filled 9 seconds later. So that's a limit order. It didn't get filled right away because the price had to go back up to get filled, because I didn't want to lose on slippage and I didn't want to risk a lot. So usually with the crazy spread that would have been 20 or 30 cents potentially, I had no spread because I had the limit. And sure enough, it went back up to 368.79. I got filled at 368.76, okay? And again, this is the Harmonious Chart. So let's just pull back a little bit on all these time frames. Now, what I'm not happy with was my partial. I partialed out way too fast, but the move is so big. But I need to know that on these types of stocks, I can wait to partial. They're gonna make big moves, okay? But just look, again, think this through. How did I go against the 1 minute strong candle right here, which is what we're looking at in the pre-market, when there is absolutely no good price action? Let's look at the 5 minute price action, right? There's not really good price action here. And even on the 5 minute, it's breaking these recent pre-markets, right? Because I'm shorting at resistance. I'm shorting at resistance. I'm shorting at resistance. Look at these moving averages. They're just offering me tons of resistance. For it to bust through that with everything I've already said, it's hard. It's really hard. And this offers great risk to reward. Put the limit order to reduce the slippage, right? Put my stop above 369, which I will have some slippage on the stop. But guess what? This is the type of play where I'm going to be right a lot of the time. When you analyze the charts in this way, you're going with the resistance. I'm not trying to place orders against the resistance. I'm trying to say, this is the resistance. I want to short close to the resistance to minimize my stop. And because there's no support underneath, this is when I get a big move. This is how I can trade the opening of the market, because I reduce my slippage potential and I'm identifying resistance and support and trading on the right side of all that. So that's the Harmonious Chart. So again, please look at that video I mentioned in the beginning, because it'll go more into depth on it. But it's a pretty sweet trade idea that can help in your ABCDs, your bull flags, right? Don't take an ABCD straight into a level of resistance. Don't take a bear flag straight into a level of support. Okay, don't do those things, and you can increase your trading drastically. So thanks for watching, and please comment below. Please do if you don't understand something. I'd love to share this concept with anyone. So let me know if you have any questions or you see anything differently. Thank you very much for watching.